Hello, welcome to July 2026. My name is Lynette, for those of you who don't know, and I'm reading in the Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free if you follow me on Instagram. I was going to say YouTube, but if you follow me on Instagram at Love Exquisite LLC, you can get access to the full magazine. I'm reading in the Learning by Design section, and I'm reading the article titled Your Choices. So y'all gotta bear with me because it's getting hot in here. So your choices, they matter. They really do. So you have to really think about the choices that you are making with your life, the decisions that you're making. So I'm reading, and these are unedited. So bear with me. Every day we make choices that shape our lives and influence our future. Some decisions may seem small, such as how we spend our time or who we choose to spend it with, but both can have a lasting impact on our careers, our relationships, our personal goals, and our education. Whether we realize it or not, every choice, not just some of them, every choice, y'all, matters. They matter because they create a path that can lead us towards either success, happiness, and fulfillment, or the complete opposite. So you got to be mindful of your choices. The choices that we make are important because they often determine the opportunities available to us in the future. So the choices that you make today will impact your future. Good decisions can help us build strong habits, earn trust, achieve goals, and overcome challenges. On the other hand, poor choices can create obstacles that may take time and effort to correct, if possible, if those are things that are correctable. Some things you can't undo. So you got to be very mindful of your choices. So no one makes perfect choices all the time. However, learning from the mistakes that you make is an important part of personal growth and development. Another reason why choices matter is that they affect not only you, but those around you. They not only affect your own life, but they affect the lives of others around you. So our words, our actions, our decisions can influence family members, friends, co-workers, and even people that we may never meet, you know what I mean? Because it's like a domino effect. What you do to somebody else might affect them, but then in turn they might go on to do, like, you know how it's like you get a cut, you bleed, and then you bleed onto somebody else, and then they bleed onto somebody else. So that's what I'm trying to say. So choosing kindness, honesty, responsibility, and respect can have a positive ripple effect that encourages others to do the same. In this way, our choices help shape the communities and the world around us. So life is the sum of the choices that we make. You've probably heard that before because it is so true. Your life is the sum of the choices that you make. Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain situations and circumstances that are beyond our control. You know, like I always say, you cannot control how other people treat you. That's on them, it's not on you. However, you can have standards that dictate to them what you will and will not accept. So you do have that choice. So you got to be mindful of the choices that you make as well and what you're allowing people to do to you. So life again is the sum of our choices. It's the sum of the choices that we make. Each decision, no matter how small, is important. It is the opportunity that helps you move closer to the person that you truly want to become. So by thinking carefully, acting with integrity, and considering the consequences for your actions, you definitely have to consider the consequences for your actions because trust me, you may not experience the consequences today. You may not experience the consequences tomorrow, but you will experience the consequences for your actions, especially if they're poor choices. Every poor choice leads to a bad outcome. You might think you're winning right now, but trust me, down the line, it's going to catch up to you. It is. So they say he who laughs first laughs last. So be mindful of the choices that you make. So we can make choices that lead to a meaningful and successful life. We truly can. The power to shape our future begins with the decisions that you make today. Not the ones you made yesterday, not the ones you made a year from now, but the choices that you make today. Whether we realize it or not, every choice contributes to the person who we are, the person who we would like to be, the person who we are trying to create in the future. The path that we follow is often the result of the countless decisions that we made over time. The choices we make also are important because they carry, again, consequences. Positive decisions can lead to opportunities, to better outcomes, to personal growth, to success, while poor decisions may create obstacles, setbacks, and sometimes unrepairable damages, or irreparable damages, I should say. Choosing to work hard, to treat others with respect, and act with integrity can build strong relationships and open doors in both our personal and professional lives. Understanding that our actions carry consequences encourages us to think more carefully before making decisions and choices. Nevertheless, making good choices is not always easy. Choices are often presented with challenges, so you got to weigh the pros and cons. And those challenges require us to weigh the different options and consider the potential outcomes. It's important. Always consider the outcome. If I do X, what would Y look like for me? If I do X, what would Y look like for me? And be realistic about that as well. So think. We got to think before we make these choices. So nevertheless, again, making good choices is not always easy. Choices often present challenges that require us to weigh different outcomes and consider the potential outcomes. Weigh the different options and consider the potential outcome. I'm tired, y'all, but I'm getting through this just for you, for y'all. So sometimes we make mistakes, but even those experiences can teach us valuable lessons. Learning from our choices helps us grow wiser. Think y'all understand why I'm so wise? Because I learned from my choices. Not always the good ones, but even the bad ones teach you what not to do or what to do better next time. So remember that. Don't always keep making bad choices, because that's the definition of insanity. So learning from our choices helps us grow wiser, develop better judgment, and make more informed decisions in the future. Success is often built not on perfection, but on the willingness to learn and improve. Don't keep making bad choices. You got to improve. You got to grow. The quality of our lives is influenced by the choices we make every day. So by making decisions that reflect our values, our goals, our future, and responsibilities, we can create a future filled with purpose and achievement. While we cannot control every circumstance that happens in our life, we can control how we respond to every situation. The choices we make today have the power to shape our tomorrow, making each decision an important step in our life journey. So as you make choices, as you make decisions, make sure that you think critically and strategically about what you are really doing and the success or consequences that you're setting up for yourself. Every choice you make matters more than you think. If you keep making poor choices, you'll have to live with those consequences. I'm going to say that again. If you keep making poor choices, you have to live with those consequences. So perhaps then you'll learn to make better choices.